Good morning, Joolse here from Joolsedesigns and JT Creations. So we're getting on with the dragon journal. It's part 2, but what we're concentrating on today is some ephemera. So years ago I had chalks that you used with a Versa marker, and that's what I'm going to do today. So I've been playing about with it, and what I did was I stamped this stamp with the Versa marker. Now you can use that for embossing, but I've been using it for chalks. Now I'm not sure if it's going to show up here, but what I'm wanting to do is I'm wanting to make some pockets. So I've got this stamp, and I think it's one of the Do Crafts Moroccan stamps, but to me it's like a medieval type Gothic stamp, which is ideal for the dragon journal. So I'm just going to stamp it. I can see that one, and I'm coming off the page a bit. So put this on. Now these are going with I think this is going on a yellow page, the dandelion. So what I'm wanting to do is I'm wanting to do some yellow. Now these chalks they're slightly pearlized. So all you do is you just take the chalk. You can use mica and just gently rub the chalk over the stamp, over the Versamark, and you get the impression. Now there is sprays that you can get to keep those. This is going back to my card making days. I don't know whether you can see that there. And it's not straight lines, but it doesn't matter. It gives that to me it gives that medieval Gothic style. So I'm going to add a little bit of pink, and we'll add a bit pink on this side, and we'll add a bit of pink in the middle. And it doesn't matter, it will get round the edges of your, so as you can see, so it looks quite nice. And if you wanted, you could, just give yourself I'm using old book pages, give yourself a wash. I'm going to go back over this one with a red, because I did do green, and I'm hoping to bring it out a little bit more. I think there's too much detail in the stamp for the background actually, but I have to be careful because red and green makes brown, it makes mud. So just go back over this, and all I'm doing is I'm just dipping it in, rubbing. It's just a sponge. Normally you get these like little makeup sponges, but these are, well, they're disintegrating, look. That needs to go in the bin. They do disintegrate after a while. So I'm just going to give this a like you would sort of like do the edges with your inks. I'm just doing the edges with the chalk. And as I said, you can get sprays to keep the chalk, because I made cards this way. I never saw what happened to the cards. I don't know whether people kept them. But you can use like a fine hairspray. I'm just taking the, no, that's not very, I'm just taking the very edges off that, and the very edges off that. We'll throw that out, and I'm just getting my middle so I can put my, actually it's got a, aha, because it's old book page it doesn't want to cut. That's fine, but there we are. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do a little bit more inking. It's not inking, chalking. It's a long time since I've done this. Doing a little bit of chalk around the edges, like you would do your inks. And then we'll do straight lines. Well, if you can get a straight line. And then just run that up. Use a tissue just to mop up your glue. And this pocket will probably get stuck down. And I'll make a nice tag just to go in it. I've got some tags here somewhere. No, I can't find them. I'll use a piece of this because I am going to make tags out of that, and there. So what we'll do is we'll get yellow. It's not the yellow page that I'm sticking it in, but I just want you to get, give you an idea of what it will look like. And if I move all my guddle away, sorry, guddle's a Scottish word for mess. So if I do use any of these Scottish words, I do apologise. You can always leave a comment and say what does that mean. I think this is going to go on this one. I quite like it there. Would quite like something like that in there as well, so I might make an envelope. Yeah, so I quite like that. So there's one. So we're kind of doing a slight what Shabby Dabby Doodah does mass make. Now these have been gessoed. As you can see, that looks quite thick. These I'm going to do some embossing. So there you are, can you see? That's absolutely beautiful. Wow, I like that. All right, okay, and then we shall do some, you can see where I've used part of this. These stamps are do crafts as well. This is from when I worked as a demonstrator for do crafts. And we'll just, don't want to get the edge perfect. It doesn't matter if it goes over because it'll, there we are. So just plain and simple. So again, the Versa marker. It's a new, I had to throw my old one away. You'd have thought it was walnut stain. It was that dirty. I'd had it for years. They do get grubby. There's nothing much you can do about that. And yeah, and I'm just wondering if I should just do a little bit here. We'll see if we can get a secondary stamp with this. And I think what we'll do is, should I do the green? I'm sure I've got a verdigris. That one in there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix it up a bit. Do this one on. Sometimes when they've got like mica powder, mica powders in, it makes them a bit. Now I can't put this anywhere because it's mixed. But if you have a little pot, I've usually got an empty pot somewhere. You can put it in an empty pot. I sometimes do that, and then if I don't use them for a while, I forget. And then the skin right down to the bone, so just be very careful. I've been doing demos for years. So there, as you can see, so the green luster has like a slight, I think it's just showing a pale green, but in this light it's got like a slight luster to it, and this, the red does have a green tinge to it, so I'm quite pleased with that as well. think it's like a grey green, so and what I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp it here and here. That's quite nice, and we'll do a little bit here. So there you can see, and what I might do is I might do I wonder if I give it sort of like a secondary one of these. I don't want to overdo it, but if I just can't really see it's the clock, but it's giving it a there we are. I quite like that. So there's another one. Right, so what am I going to do with this one? I want to do another side pocket. I quite like these. What I'm going to do is I'm going to turn that over and stick it rather than try and cut it down. Now, do I want the clock on this one? Because what I can do is I can do it even with embossing. Or do I want to try something different? That one back there, that one back there. I think what we'll try is we'll try this one here. Now I do need to just bear with me while I get my bigger. Right, I couldn't find my larger block, so I got the Tim Holtz stamping pad out. So all you do for that is you just secure this down. I'll do it again. Secure it down where you want it. Put your, I'll put these over there. Place your stamp. Now it has two sides. This one's, when it says clear at the top and you can read it, it means for clear stamps. Rubber stamps, you take it out and turn it over. So this is clear stamps, so I'm just sticking it on like that. Oh. And now what do I want to do? Do I want to actually emboss that, or do I want to do a, I think I'll do this jade colour. And you just ink this. I've got several of these stamp pads. I've got some smaller ones that I used to use because they were easy to carry about with me in my bag. And then you just press that on. See, and you can see it hasn't shown up very well, so because that's still in the same place, you can go over it with something else. So I'm going to look for a slightly darker, so that's smoked emerald, green topaz. We'll have a look at this. do that. Well, no, we'll try it. Plus these stamps I've not used them, so that could be the stamp that's... And it is a solid stamp with just the letters cut out. I'm out of range, sorry. I try and stay within the range. I know I'm not to come down here, but that's better. Now because there's writing on it, you can't really see it that great. But what I'm going to do is, it's still a bit damp in places, so it will take on dip it in there. So there we are. Can you see the red, the fresh red, and it's got kind of a metallic, it has got a greeny tinge to it, that's why it looks nice with green. So I'm quite pleased with that. And I want something to go on the top here, and I don't want to use... I'm not sure if I want to use that. Well, it's tough now because I've used it. Do you ever do things like that? Oh, it's quite nice. And we'll use some green chalk just to edge round. It is a dark green chalk I'm using, although it's a light green. I think it's because the yellow is... And it just gives it that aged look again. And we'll do the edge of this. I think we'll just do it a mixture of whatever's there. It's the colours I've been using. I know the last few times I've been using sort of like blues and purples, but I do like the earthy colours, the yellows and the oranges, and they're my kind of colours. And we'll stick these, but we'll do it from this side. So I'm quite pleased with these. I think I'll put some lace on them or some embellishments. I'll do that off camera and then I'll bring them in. So I hope you get something out of this. Once again, thank you for joining me, and bye.